Hi, I'm Maria. I'm a successful real estate agent, and I've always been good at seeing value, not just in houses, but in relationships too. My husband, Tom, and I were lucky to inherit a beautiful vacation home by the lake. It was quiet, peaceful, and the perfect escape from busy city life and, to be honest, from my in-laws. Tom's parents never really warmed up to me. They came from a more traditional background and often made small, passive-aggressive comments about my career and my modest upbringing. A real estate agent, always trying to sell something, they'd joke, but I knew there was more to their words. This house wasn't just a building for us, it was our haven, where we shared laughter during family get-togethers and found peace on our own. But as Tom's parents got older, they started asking us to sign the house over to them. We need to make sure it stays in the family for future generations, they said one night at dinner. The room felt tense, and I could sense the pressure in the air. But it is staying in the family. Tom and I are your family, aren't we? I asked, trying to stay calm even though I was getting frustrated. Yes, Maria, but you know what we mean. It's about securing the family legacy, Tom's father replied, his tone leaving no room for debate. The tension was almost too much to bear. Tom, bless him, was torn. He wanted to make his parents happy, but he hated how it was affecting our marriage. We spent many nights talking about what to do. Stress etched on both our faces. Why do they have to make everything about business? I asked him during one of those late-night talks. Tom sighed deeply, a sound that said more than words ever could. It's how they've always been, Maria. It's not just about the house, it's about control, he finally said, sadness in his eyes that matched my own. It wasn't just what they said, it was how they acted. Every time they visited the house, it felt like a game. They would drop hints about the future of the property. During one particularly blunt conversation, Tom's mom said, "You two don't need such a big place. Think about the family. Think about your brothers." Her words hurt. It wasn't just that she implied we didn't deserve the house. It was that she seemed to be saying we weren't enough of a family ourselves to keep it. That's not fair, I found myself saying. We love this home just as much as you do. Why isn't that enough? It was clear now that this wasn't just about a house. It was about respect, boundaries, and where family loyalty ends and personal independence begins. Look at this, David, I said, showing him emails between Tom and his parents. They've been planning this for months, trying to pressure me into signing over the deed. You're kidding me, David replied, shocked. That's low, even for them. So, what's your plan? I don't know yet. I'm so angry, I can't even think straight, I admitted. Okay, let's not rush. There are ways to handle this. Maria, ways to make sure you stay in control. Have you thought about selling the house? Just end it all and sell it to someone else. Can I do that without Tom agreeing? I asked. If both your names are on the deed, you'd both need to sign off on a sale. But maybe it's time Tom realizes what his parents' manipulations are costing him. You think he'd go for it? It might be the wake-up call he needs. Otherwise, you'll keep being painted as the villain in their story. That evening, back at home, I couldn't shake the cold feeling of betrayal. It felt like it was seeping into our home, our supposed safe place. When Tom came home, I confronted him. You and your parents have been planning behind my back. How could you, Tom? It's not like that, Maria, he replied. They're just worried about the future, about stability. Stability or control? This is our home, Tom, our future. Why am I only hearing about this now? I was going to talk to you, I swear. They just have a way of pushing until I give in. And what if I don't give in, Tom? What then? Your parents gave me an ultimatum today. Sign over the house by the end of the month or face the consequences. What consequences? Tom asked, startled. I don't know, they didn't say, I replied. They didn't what, Tom? Are they threatening to cut us off? To come between us? I don't know, Maria, I just know they're serious. The next day, I met with David again, feeling the weight of the ultimatum pressing on me. Your in-laws are playing dirty, that's obvious. If you sell, you can avoid their threats altogether. Let's weigh the pros and cons. This is about more than just a property, this is about your independence. You're right, I sighed, but I hate that it's come to this. It feels like I'm being pushed out of my own life. That's why you need to take control again, David said. Maybe it's time to show Tom and his parents that you won't be bulldozed. That evening, Tom tried to patch things up, but the gap between us had grown, strained by the secrets and scheming. Maria, please, he said, let's just talk. We can find a way to make everyone happy. Can we, Tom? Because it seems like your parents' happiness comes at the cost of mine. It's not like that, he insisted. They just want what's best for all of us. And what about what I want? Doesn't that matter? I asked. You know it does, he said, frustrated, but they're my parents. We can't work something out like this, Tom. This is our life, not a business negotiation. I need to think about what's best for me too. Maybe David is right. Maybe selling the house is the only way to take back control. Sell? Maria, you can't be serious. I've never been more serious, Tom. I won't be backed into a corner, not by your parents, not by anyone. Maria, please. No, Tom, it's time I made a decision that's right for me, I said, my voice steady. I'm going to think about all my options and do what's best for me. I hope you can understand that. As Tom stood there, stunned, I felt a mix of fear and determination brewing inside me. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear, I wasn't going to be anyone's pawn anymore. At the dining table, the air was thick with tension. We all knew why we were here. We all know the reason for this meeting. I began, looking around at everyone. The table had seen happier days, but today felt different. Tom looked anxious, his parents expectant. Before I could continue, Tom's father spoke up. Before we proceed, we want to make sure this transition goes smoothly for everyone. I nodded, placing the stack of papers in front of me. I've thought about this long and hard. This isn't just a transaction, this house is part of who we are. Exactly, Maria, his mother chimed in, a thin smile on her face. It's for the family, for the future of our grandchildren. I glanced at Tom, who was staring at the table. Tom, do you have anything you want to say before we continue? He shifted uncomfortably. I just want what's best for us, for our family. And what is best, Tom? I asked softly. He hesitated. I think keeping the house and the family is the right thing to do. It's what my parents want. Taking a deep breath, I leaned forward. Well, there's been a change of plans. Tom's father frowned. What are you talking about, Maria? The house, I said, my voice calm but firm. It's already been sold. The room fell into stunned silence. Tom's eyes snapped up to meet mine. Sold? His mother gasped. To whom? When? To a charitable organization. They plan to turn it into a retreat for underprivileged families, I said, sliding the proof of sale across the table. Tom's father's voice rose. How could you do this without telling us? I had my reasons, I replied firmly. This house was as much mine as it was Tom's. I couldn't let it be used as a tool for manipulation any longer. We never, his mother began, her face flushed. Please, I cut her off. I've seen the emails, the plans. I felt the pressure. This was the only way I knew to protect what was ours, what was mine. Tom looked torn, his voice pained. Maria, why didn't you talk to me about this? I wanted to, but every time we spoke, it felt like your parents' wishes came first. Just then, the doorbell rang. I stood to answer it, letting in Miss Johnson, the representative from the charity. She entered with a calm presence. Good afternoon. I'm here to discuss the future of the property, she said, extending her hand to Tom's parents. Tom murmured, still in shock. We had no idea it would come to this. Miss Johnson smiled warmly. We plan to honor the spirit of this home. Families in need will find peace here, just as you did. I hope you can see the good in that. Tom's mother looked between me and Miss Johnson, her sharp demeanor softening slightly. And our son, our family. I believe this is a new beginning for all of us, I replied, a mix of relief and defiance in my voice, one where we respect each other's decisions and boundaries. Tom stood and came to my side. I need to think about all this. Maria, can we talk? Of course, I said, hoping this crisis could finally begin to heal the rift between us. As Miss Johnson explained the charity's plans for the home, I caught Tom's eye. There was a flicker of understanding, maybe even gratitude. It felt like the first step toward healing. The meeting ended with promises to communicate better. While the reconciliation wasn't complete, the house felt lighter, its walls ready to embrace a new chapter. The echoes of that meeting stayed with me in the following weeks, a constant reminder of the seismic shift in our family dynamics. As I faced the backlash from Tom's parents and their circle, Tom became my greatest support. One evening, while we sat among boxes in the old vacation home, packing up memories, Tom broke the silence. This isn't just about the house anymore, is it? No, I replied, sealing another box with tape. It's about setting boundaries, Tom. It's about respect. Tom sighed, the weight of everything finally sinking in. You were right, Maria. My parents, they went too far. I see that now. The realization wasn't easy for Tom. His loyalty to his parents clashed with his love for me, but the support he showed by standing by my side through the storm marked the start of a new chapter for us. In the weeks that followed, Tom's parents had to face the consequences of their actions. Word of their scheming and the sale of the house became public, damaging their reputation. Humiliated by their own greed and the judgment of others, they were forced to retreat, dealing with their shame in private. As I look back on everything, the challenges we faced and the victories we achieved, I understand the importance of standing firm in one's values. Selling the vacation home, while filled with conflict, was necessary for us to reclaim our independence and redefine our lives on our own terms. Thank you for following my story. Remember, standing up for yourself isn't just about asserting your rights, but also about choosing your own path and valuing your self-worth. Here's to new beginnings and personal victories. How would you handle toxic family pressures while keeping your boundaries strong? Feel free to share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of life, struggle, and triumph.